Man, I'm going down memory lane right now. I'm remembering Tony Allen yelling at himself, first team all defense in that playoff series of the Warriors. How,
that's right.
Man, they had the Warriors scared. That was a moment right there. That was a road fork moment. That playoff series, the first Warriors title run, where down 2-1, and they had to solve the series. They had to give up the 3 to Tony Allen defense, have Bogut guard Tony Allen, quote unquote, and that kind of unlocked them. But before
Tony had a torn hamstring. Tony had a torn hamstring, which gets
I know.
He did.
I know.
And by the way, Nick Calathis started game 1 because Mike Conley literally had a broken face for the series.
Yeah.
And by the way, Nick Calathis filled in for Mike Conley and had 0. Like we didn't even get 4 points out of him.
Did he get the steroid suspension, or am I going to get sued? Is that incorrect?
They said it was dick pills. I'm serious. Yeah, like those things you get at the gas station.
Well, why aren't you allowed to do that as an NBA
I don't
player?
know.
What's the?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Oh my God! No, that's.
I guess
serious,
they're like,
man.
look, you guys are professional athletes. You're in the peak physical condition. You shouldn't have any problems with your dick. There's no need to take these. And he was like, you know what?
It's like the cover up is worse than the crime. I mean, obviously he was doing steroids that they couldn't find if he needed dick pills to overcome whatever was happening with his body, I think.
You ever taken one of them things at the gas station?
No, have you?
Yes, you have.
I have not.
Yes,
No.
You haven't? Oh, I'd be too embarrassed to buy one. But my buddy did. He said they are unbelievable.
What?
He said,
Is it
he said,
is it
I don't
off-brand
know.
Viagra?
I don't know. They just said like you think you've been hard, but you have not.
So is it like the Viagra version of when you have you get sushi from the gas station, where it's like this will get the job done? There might be some side effects. Is that what's happening with something like that?
I just think that whatever they're selling at the gas station is like it's never even been tested by the FDA. So I don't know what it does to your wiener, but the NBA doesn't allow it.
That's just one of these things like David Stern stepping in and trying to save Michael Ray Richardson's life by suspending him. You know, it's like we got to look out for these guys. It's not about a performance edge. It's just about keeping them healthy. Those games though, dude, there was something.
It's great basketball.
I can't know if the reason why there's such a romance to it in my mind. I'm not talking about the dick pills. I don't know if it's because you got these great seats as traveling media in the smaller markets.
Oh,
so in my mind, at FedEx and at Chesapeake, it's just vivid memories.
It's small markets, Ethan. I've done it too. You go to the small markets are different. It matters more. It just does.
You can feel it.
It feels like a college environment. It really does.
Yeah.
Playoffs, not regular season. Playoffs, if you go to Oak City, I've been in Oak City when they're there. You come to Memphis, you go to some of these small markets, and it is a hornet's nest, truly, when it comes playoff time.
Slater had stars in his eyes talking about covering that Memphis OKC playoff series, the Reggie Jackson game series, where you're just going back and forth, and you're there. You're near what they call the pit around the the kind of coach player area. You're seeing that energy, and I remember just being there where when they broke through against Memphis in that series, the Warriors did, and I just remember them having a possession where they kind of passed it around the horn, and Steph did the relocate. It was still kind of early where the relocate stuff for him wasn't as common, and I just remember Steve Kerr just fist pumping and just doing a full spin and this sort of release, and you're just seeing it, you're seeing the energy of it, and you're feeling the tension of it, and you can feel that people do care more. There's a real different mentality. And I think you could tell me if I was near the pit and I was near the sideline for a playoff series at Staples, it would feel the same. I don't think it would feel the same. I mean, it would not be the same as, I swear to God, I have this memory of the Warriors game 6 against the Thunder being there, that Clay game, right? for going to the NBA Finals. I think. Is that the conference finals, that one? I think it was. But I remember that's the big game where, the Thunder should have won that game. Yeah, Game 6 Clay. And I remember I could see the Oklahoma City dancers. I could see they were crying after it. And I just went, it's not, you're not seeing that at Staples. You're not, you're not seeing the Laker girls crying. And it was tense.
Because they can't. They've gotten too much Botox. Their eyes are like frozen.
They're on their way to their acting gig. They don't care like that. But no, I mean, there were Thunder fans who were just emotional. They almost got a fight with Sam Amick where they were yelling at him like he did it. Talking about you guys, Well, that's another thing, Chris, is that this weird things happen where I've gotten more of a relationship with some coaches and GMs who were, on the other side of those days, but they didn't really want to mess with me back in the day because they almost saw me like I was part of the Warriors and I was part of this
corporate Ethan,
the sweeping wave of death coming for them. And I was like, I don't think the Warriors don't feel that way. I'm not on the championship float, but that was the perception that I was part of the big bad thing.
Inevitably, anytime you cover somebody, you're going to become synonymous with them.
Yeah.
Just the way it is. Just the way it is.
Yeah. When I interview or I talk to Daryl Morey, he says, you guys. That's how he talks about it. Like, you guys did this to us and, everything else. Like, I didn't have too much to do with it. Maybe they took a suggestion or two from me. I don't know, But yeah, do you think we're getting back to that? Do you think that went away? Do you think the NBA? I know you like the rule interpretation changes. Do you think the juice can come back to the scene?
I do, and that is because and I talk about him a lot on the Mismatch. I've got a 14-year-old, so I see the way these kids are with the NBA, and I would tell you that across the board, if you were to ask the kids that, again, I'm around them a bunch, that, yes, they live in a market that's an NBA market, but still, most of these kids could tell you, they could list you to 10, their favorite 10 NBA players in order, and they're not all local guys. Tony Allen's kid was at the game the other night, right? I was at the game with Tim, and he's got a son, Andre, and I think Andre is 10. And Andre wanted to get there early so he could see his favorite player, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. His dad is Tony Allen. The guy's got to have number 9 up in the rafters. Now, of course, he loves Morant, but Morant's not playing. But he loves Shai Gilgeous. He wants to get to see him. He wants to meet him, whatever. And I would say that, so that's a 10-year-old. I'm telling you, the 14-year-old, amongst all of his friends, I would say for their age group, for a long time when he was growing up, I would have told you that it is Curry and Mahomes, and then it's everybody else. Yeah. Every other athlete in the world. They were the cool dudes, And so I think that has a profound impact. They didn't care about LeBron or whatever, but they cared about Curry. I'm saying that age group, right? Curry was their guy, kind of. And then obviously in this market, Ja came along and everybody in the, I would tell you that there's probably, I would say between my son and my daughter's class, I would say conservatively over 60% of both grades have a Morant shirt or jersey in their house. I would guarantee it. I'd guarantee it, right? And so I just see from, the same way they were talking about the internet, I see this next generation of kids, and they care about it, and they have favorite players, and I think that is very good for, I think that's very good for the league.